Hello everyone and welcome back to Bladesong. Okay then, so we are at the end of the day. We have Keswin in our shop along with Clodo, so things are coming together. Well, since we have no points left, I think we might as well just end the day and see what's in store for us in, I don't know, where do we want to go today? We could go to the den to talk to the Huntress, or we can go to the steady stay so we can talk to the carpenter. As far as I got it from the dialogues, I think Lucas will send for us if he's ready to talk to the, the moth, so I think just need to wait. And I suppose we have plenty of leather, so tell you what, let's go to the steady stay. Ooh, fancy. One of the refined inns, scented candles. Sounds nice. Very, very fancy, but not a lot of people apparently. Okay then, so we are in the inn. Apparently there is a big bartender, and apparently a girl named Rizal is helping the carpenter. Don't worry about me, I can find on my way to the table. The carpenter is here. I would like to have a word with him. Of course, but first you need to sit and eat. Okay, if you say so. Rizal, put away that scowl and show our guest a smile. This is an inn, not a funeral home. The girl looked at us and said her eyes widened in shock or recognition. Then quickly said nothing ever happened. Greetings, apologies if my father broke your eardrum. Business has been slow recently and he's excited to see a new face. I can see why business is slow with this constant hammering. Oh, believe me, that is not the reason why we are struggling. Tell me more. Rizal, you must not tell them these things. Remember what I taught you. The merchant who cries of poverty sells no wares. Our customers should think we are thriving. Our customers have eyes, father. They can see the empty tables. What can we do for you? Food, board, or both? I recommend the meat and mushroom pie. My brother Kian bakes the best pie in Eren Keep. Might as well eat. I want to be ready for tomorrow. Only 3 coins. Thank you. Okay then, so I think I will go and quickly talk to the carpenter. I am in need of a supply of wood. Can you help? The carpenter looks you over. I supplied Tessan, I did. Good man, reliable. Doesn't sit right with me. You taking over his forge like this. What if he comes back? From what I heard, maybe the city is better off without him. I'm going to find what happened to Tessan. In the meantime, trade with me. He's gone and the city needs a swordsmith. I am happy to fill that work. Do you want business or not? I am going to find out what happened to Tessan. In the meantime, trade with me. Well, I am curious myself. Sad state of affairs when a man can vanish like that and no one says a word, right? You need anything, just say the word. Okay, Oscar, thank you. I will look you up if I need some wood. Why do you think the old smith went missing? I don't like to speculate on such matters. Old Tessan most likely stuck his nose where he didn't belong. Well, this is a story-heavy game, so I suppose we will find out. Okay, well, this Rizal girl is intriguing. I think I will try to talk to her. What happened to your eye? Heard any rumors about what happened to Tesson Falber? You should ask my father about that. He visited Tesson's forge just after he went missing. What happened to your eye? What happened to your common decency? Do you think it is polite to ask a stranger about their disfigurement? Relax, I will tell you. If you tell me something, what is your greatest fear? Yeah, I'm afraid that nothing I do matters and I will never make a difference. Well, you aren't the only one with those thoughts. You gave me an answer, and a fair one at that. I suppose I have to honor my promise. Here's what happened to my eye. I gave it up willingly, and I received nothing in return. What do you mean? Sounds like there's more to this story. My father says that life is like sailing. You can choose the winds, but you can set your sails. I disagree. I think life is a game where you only learn the rules after you've already lost. Anyways, what made you decide to go into the family business? She tilts her head, regarding you carefully. Decide is the wrong word. Sometimes we are called to one path, but fate delivers us elsewhere. I am grateful to my father for taking me in, even if he can be a little pig-headed sometimes. What is really your fate? You seem like you have bigger aspirations than innkeeping. What path were you walking before the study stay? Yeah, what is your real fate? We all have callings. The trick is recognizing them when they arrive. We've spent the last decade waiting for the right constellation of circumstances. Well, if you say so. Okay, let's go and talk to the carpenter. Maybe he has something more to say about Tesson. Forgive my daughter. She thinks helping her old father run the inn is beneath her talents. Perhaps she's right, but don't tell her that. I just wish she would smile more, be more pleasant to our guests. First impressions are everything. Okay, do you mind if I put up a poster advertising my forge? By all means, yes. Hang it over there by the entrance. Thank you very much. Nice. Okay, by the way, yes, introduce ourselves. Ah, a blacksmith. Such a useful skill to have. I will send the customers to you if they need a weapon for facing the wastes. My name is Nikao Kamai, Master of Pies, Lord of Fine Ale. As you can see from my girth, Okay, before we do the disappearance, let me see. Why did you call your inn the Steady Stay? That accent, where are you from originally? I get the impression that Rizal isn't happy here. Okay. We don't know where he's from yet. We didn't ask about the accent yet, but now we can ask him about this place, I suppose, his homeland. I'll tell you what. Let's play it safe. First ask him where he's from. You have a keen ear. I was born a little spit of sand and sunshine called Phosphate. Okay. It is one of the 70 islands of Kahao, I suppose, deep in the Lazoline Sea. Not so many of the Kawahoan people here in Eren Keep. The journey, it is very difficult. I hitched a ride on the Orlean trading vessel and I am sailing for many moons to reach the Kurevan coast. This was 30 years ago, before the Long Dusk, before Rizal was born. I was lucky to arrive here in those days, before everyone and their grandson was trying to get into the keep. But I will never know what befell my beautiful island of Kahao in the years since. Do you ever miss Kahao? Of course. The taste of the kavura fruits, the pulse of the sea, the way the sun sparkled in the waves like shimmering blanket of fish scales. My home, my people, oh, my heart. If I ever learn anything about the fate of the 70 islands, I will come to you. This I appreciate, though a part of me quails in fear. What if you bring me bad news? Perhaps no news is better, yes? What made you leave the 70 islands? Never did I know why I left. I was a young man and the island was too small for my dreams. My mama begged me to stay, but I laughed in her face. Foolish, foolish. But if I am a fool, I am a lucky fool. I made my way to Eren Keep in the days before the Sundering. Back then, new arrivals didn't have to earn their way past the gates, and when the Sundering came, the king protected us. And of course, if I hadn't come here, wouldn't have had my dear Rizal. Fate is like a deep current of the sea. We cannot see where it is taking us, but we cannot resist its pull. I get the impression that Rizal isn't happy here. Oh, my dear Rizal is never happy. So serious, so somber. The girl was forgotten how to smile since. She dreams of impossible things. She shimmers like a boiling pot, stewing her regrets until she can taste nothing else. I tell her to just be happy. Life is too short for such brooding. The customers prefer to see a happy face, but she doesn't listen to her papa. Okay, let's talk about Tessenfelber. Yes, I visited the forge around the time he vanished. I was looking to commission a new set of knives for the kitchen, but by the time I got there, Tessen was already gone. Only his poor wife was there. Okay, so he didn't kill her. Okay, good to know. Sobbing and asking if I knew where her husband was. I told her she was just being silly. I was sure Tessen was fine. Oh, what a fool I can be. The wife vanished too. Not long after that. Okay, so apparently he didn't kill her wife. Her wife was still there when he vanished. So Tessen vanished first and then his wife. Yes, that's what I just said. But we have a new smith now, yes? All is right with the world. Okay, nice talking to you. And I think we are done here. We can either talk to him or Rizal, so I think we are good to go home. Hey! It's our big friend. Watch your step, worm. With a jolt, you recognize the loud, obnoxious crow from the den, the one who was criticizing the masking. You helped him get to an inn that night, but he doesn't seem to recognize you, right? Oh, Marvin, you're back. We've got your usual table ready. And we can go home now. I was kind of hoping that he would recognize us, but oh well. No good deed goes unpunished. Okay, the morning finds Keswin head and shoulders shoved awkwardly in up the chimney, scrubbing furiously. I will busy myself with other tasks. There's always more to do. You pay him no mind, focusing on readying the shop until... Song's End, what the... Okay, apparently a big pile of soot came barreling down the chimney. Great, it seems we have to beat Clodo again. Oh well, when it clears... there's something in his hand. What's the matter? I found something up there. An ugly iron box, crudely made, welded shut around the lid. It's blackened with soot. It was behind a loose brick. This must have belonged to the last smith who worked here. It takes half an hour of hammering to get the box open. Okay. A blackened journal drops out with a thump. Examine the book. Apparently, this is Tesson's old diary. Read it through methodically. I suspect this is going to be important. Apparently, he was working on a very difficult commission, a sword of great complexity. Okay, this might be related to his disappearance. Maybe someone was unhappy with the work he was doing. We might need to be careful who we accept. At the end, he is starting to write about marital troubles. Apparently, his wife, Alice, had been struggling to conceive for many years. Good man. In desperation, Tesson went to the orphanage looking for adoption. Okay. He immediately took a shine to a boy named Merrill, but by the time he came back, Merrill had vanished, and the matrons were evasive about what happened to him. Okay. Maybe the sword is unrelated, maybe this is why he vanished. Well, this is the end of the journal, so it goes to reason. Yeah, he became obsessed to find out what happened to him. His blacksmithing fell by the wayside. Yeah, his progress on his great project stops completely. Corruption's at the highest level. I held him, he told me about his nightmares. He trusted me and now he is gone. I will find him. I will know the truth. Okay. The plot thickens. What does it say? Before he vanished, Tesson was investigating the disappearance of an orphan named Merrill. Apparently orphans sometimes just go missing from the orphanage. Perhaps he found what he was looking for, and it did not go well for him. Well, it's pretty obvious why he hid the journal. Do you think Tesson found out who was taking the orphans? Yeah, sounds like he discovered something dangerous. I am going to visit the orphanage and see what I can find out. Be careful, you don't want to share Tesson's fate. Yeah, tell me about it. Okay, as you open up the shop for that morning, your mind is racing. Okay, I think we know where we will go this night. Anyways, as you are getting ready to open shop, there's a rhythmic knock at the door. Who could that be? Hi. I hope you don't mind my early visit. She steps inside, her single eye taking in every detail of the forge. Good morning. You're not sure she even hears you. Her hand glides across your rack of tools, counting them one by one. Then she turns abruptly. What brought you to Eren Keep, Smith? I suppose fate. I know what you were. I know what you were. A stray cinder on the breeze, tumbling, never catching a light, until now. She looks you up and down, her eye more piercing than any sword. You get the strange sense you are being measured for a purpose. Or perhaps a coffin. Do you have someone who keeps your books? No, actually. I only just started my business. Do you mind showing me your ledger? I mean, why not? Pull your ledger from beneath a stack of iron ingots. She takes it carefully. You could use a bookkeeper, I think. Okay, why is she so eager to work for us? I don't mind, but basically, she says she saved her father thousands of dollars over the years. She could save us a great deal of money if she worked for us. Now, I know she doesn't like to work in the inn, but she seems a little bit too keen. So you want a job? It was merely an observation. Actually, I came here to ask your help. There's a problem at the inn. What kind of problem? A problem that only you can solve. My father is too proud to ask for help, but one day his pride shall be his funeral shroud. Come to the inn and you will see what's wrong. Sure. Thank you, I know. Okay, she slips out of the door quickly as she arrived. Okay, What a strange lady. Yeah, tell me about it. Okay, I think we are done with the events. And we have 11 points. So we have one extra point, but I thought that we would only get this one. This is the first one that will give us one extra point. And the well-fed will only give us 2 extra points. Oh, maybe it's Casvin. You know, assistant helping us, 1 extra point. Okay. So, let's take a look at the commissions. Oh, sorry. Not the readers. There we go. So, we have Emmert, a crow. Okay, this is different. Let me see. Okay, apparently she is a member of a group called the Bloody Cloaks, and, well, she's looking for a sword. Why are you called the Bloody Cloaks? Well, every recruit gets a white cloak, and it is their task to turn it crimson with battle blood. Okay, if you say so. Who do the Bloody Cloaks fight for? Well, it appears anyone who has money. Well, it says, you know, warlords constantly at war with each other, with territory, loot, slaves. I don't think I like these guys so far. Why are the Bloody Cloaks camped outside Eren Keep? Also, if you're outside Eren Keep, how can you get inside? Apparently, it is the idea of a guy named Silas, which I suppose must be their leader. Oh, he insists there is some great violence brewing in the keep. He wants to be here when it breaks out. Interesting. Tell me more about the blade you want. Nothing fancy, something that will split skulls and pierce blast plates. Okay, that's going to be 6 points. I don't think I like this one, but 105 coins, that is going to be a pretty good payday. What about Handy? Alright, this is the crazy guy with the dust. Right, I don't think I want to help this guy. No. What about Oliver? Appears to be a regular job, and ooh, it will pay pretty good. Well, yeah, I believe this symbol signifies someone who will give us a bit more money than the others. What about Mila? Yeah, a broken sword, so we need to make a replacement. It is actually only 4 points. So we have 11 points, which means we can do 2 of them. I think I will do Oliver, and, well, this sounds like a big job, so you know what? I will help out the crow as well. It makes me feel a bit iffy, but I think we can help him. Obviously, Handy is out of the question. Let's start with Oliver. Indigo. I do believe we did just get the Indigo recently, so that should be fine. Only 10 steel, a relatively short 1.5 hander, narrow point, requires 5 pins, and that's it. Can we... do we have the pins unlocked yet? Let me see. I want to be extra sure. It is not asking for anything specific other than just pins. So, there we go. Okay, we have the half sphere, the block, pyramid. Okay, we have them unlocked. Good. So, I think we can do that one. Oliver, you're up. Let me see. So, first let's make it long enough and shape out the blade, basically. Thankfully, he is not asking for anything specific in terms of statistics, only to make it look nice, so that will make our job a lot easier. In fact, tell you what, let's create a leaf blade, sure. Now that we can make things look nice and polished, let's make a nice steel leaf blade, which means we want to taper the width a little bit. Okay, so we have created a small taper right in the middle, which means it will be wider at the tip, which will create a leaf shape. So it is going to be a leaf blade. Next up, I think I will bring down the length as much as possible. Leaf blades are usually not that long. There we go. This is as long as it needs to be. Next up, a point. That will do. So this is going to be the sword shape. Next up, a cross section. First, create the tip as usual, and then create the actual sword edge. Oh, okay. The lower one overrides the upper one. So delete this one, or yeah, delete this one and create a new one, and that will create the proper tip for the sword. Yeah, just like that. So the blade and the point is all good to go, I think. Next up, yeah, just give it a bit of a polish. Yeah, don't go all the way. 75 is enough. It is still nice and shiny, but not overly so. I cannot wait to have the polishing for the different parts of the blade. So, you know, we can have the main blade polished to 50%, so it is shiny but still dull, and we can have the bevel and the edge all nice and shiny. I think that will look kind of nice. If you have seen my shorts about other swords, you might know what I'm talking about. Anyways, let's create a fuller. Okay, I am pretty happy with this one. A slightly leaf-shaped longsword. Next up, just bring the original cross-section back a little bit, and this much, so we can create this little block of steel at the hilt. Also, bring the fuller up a bit as well. There we go. So the fuller starts right at this big block of steel. So, handle, or the hilt. Well, he is asking for a 1.5 hander sword. Let's take care of that one first. I suppose let's just use the diamond. It needs to be a little bit fancy. So tell you what, can we make inverse tapers yet? Yes, we can. But only this one, smaller inverse mild taper. Okay. You go there and shrink it down this much. And then the same thing but in reverse. So smaller taper. Is that going to be the one we need? No. Okay then, mild taper. Yeah, something like this. You know, taper it down in the middle. And now, in creative mode, if I play around with the curvature on these, they will remove the core of the handle. Or what was it called? The tang, I believe. So if I do it like this, no, it will not remove it, unfortunately. That is a shame. I wish we had a bit more control like we do in creative mode. Okay, fine, just use this one then. Okay then, this will do for the handle. Next up, the actual crossguard. Not asking for anything specific, so tell you what, let's use this one. Yeah, use that one. Shrink it down, obviously, don't use too much steel, and try to make it look a bit nicer. So what if we do it like this? Yeah, I think I like it. Let's make the crossguard hog the blade. Okay, just move this one into it so it looks proper. Do we have the rings unlocked yet? No. That's a shame. I would love to make the connection between the crossguard and the hilt a bit more organic, but you know what, this will do as well. Next, a pommel. Maybe I will use one of these for a pommel. Yeah, something like this. And we can put the pins on the edges of this one. First things first, let's make it relatively small. Narrow but slightly bigger. There. Okay, a little bit bigger than this. Sure. So the pins. There we go. These. I think I will just put a block on the end of it, like this. So that's 2 pins already. We need 3 more. Can I put anything on these? Maybe the pyramid? No, I cannot. I mean, I can, but it will not look right. I suppose what I will do is put one here. Just shrink it into the blade a little bit, or the pommel. And maybe the half sphere on top. So half sphere here, just shrink it into the, or sink it into the pommel. Okay, we have the 5 pins taken care of. And I think I like this pommel quite a bit. Okay then. 3 points of leather. Ooh. Let's see. Also we need something indigo, 2 points. Well, that means this, or maybe the rib leather. No, this one. Almost. Maybe put leather on these. Not quite. Okay, have leather on the main covering, but put steel on the pins. Like this. I mean, it works, but it's a little bit interesting, to say the least. Just increase the size of the hilt until it is good enough. Like this. So this is 2 points. Good. Next up, we need a bit more. How can we achieve that? I don't want to put leather on the crossguard, obviously. Okay, fine. Replace this one with a bigger crossguard, and maybe we can put something on the tips. I would love to have the little cube. That would be very, very useful right now. Just have a big quillen block. Let's say this one. And then use one of these. Okay, so far so good. So if I turn this one or cover it with leather, I don't think it will look nice, but let's take a look. It's a bit weird to say the least. And just make it bigger and then maybe sink it into the quillen block. Not quite enough. Maybe we can use these pommels instead. It will look silly, but maybe use this one and sink it into the quillen guard. Oh yeah, very, very silly, but might be big enough for what we need. So, sorry. Not that. Didn't control click copy the... I thought control click would copy the textures, whatever. So if I do this, there we go. 2.9, make it 2.5. 2.7, close enough. Copy this one, and maybe I can turn this one back into steel. Yes. Good, 3.1, 2, okay, you know what I mean. And we are not actually using all that much leather, so that's good. 5 wood, 12 steel. A lot cheaper than I thought it would be. Yes, the crossguard looks a little bit silly, but you know what? It's fine. Just turn it maybe this way. Sure. I think I'm happy with this one. Let's call this the blue bat. I suppose it's fitting. Okay, everything appears to be satisfied. Let's go for it. Okay, that was quite interesting. Next up, I do believe I want to take care of the crow commission. We have 7 points, require 6, and only 17 steel. Once again, a lot cheaper than I anticipated. Okay then, well, she rubs me the wrong way a little bit, but you know what? Sword for mercenary, whatever. Okay, so once again, a 1.5-hander sword needs to be impactful and sharp, and balanced towards the tip of the blade. Which means let's take care of the handle first, so we know how to hammer out the actual blade. Needs to be relatively light here. Let's take a look. Maybe for this one I can use this cross guard shape that I tried to do for the last one. So something like this. And then a 1.5-hander handle. Okay, a very simple hilt. I think if we make the blade relatively narrow, although it needs to be impactful, so it needs to be quite heavy as well. Well, let's just start hammering and see what happens. Okay, so far so good. Sharp and impactful enough, but it still requires a broad point, which means let's just bring this one up. Okay, now it needs to be balanced towards the hilt. A lot, in fact. First things first, let's polish it so it looks nice. Although, you know, it's for a mercenary, but still. 90% is a little bit much. 50% polish, sure. So, make it a bit narrower, although that will impact the impact. Maybe a fuller will lower the weight of it. Just bring it all the way to the tip. It impacted the sharpness. Interesting. Okay, so it needs to be a bit more sharp. I think if we can play around with the cross-section and the convexity, if you make it a bit more convex, it should be good. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. That is fine now. Now just bring the balance back to the hilt. Which means some of these need to be a bit bigger. And there we go. Make it a little bit bigger and maybe the crossguard as well. Okay, not this one. This one be as small as possible. In fact, hog the blade a bit more. Make this one a bit heavier. So this one originally, where is it? This one. 1.89 grams. Maybe if we use this one, that might be better. It looks a little bit too silly. Way too big. Still looks a bit silly, but it's a bit better than it was before, I think. Maybe this one. Yeah, I think we have a winner. Okay, just sink it into the handle and that's it. No, wait, balance is now off. Fine, ever so slightly bigger there. Now everything is satisfied. Sharp, impactful, balance is right, length is right. 1.5 hander, broad point. Okay, just polish it a little bit and we can call this one good enough. And I think we can call this one the blood letter, you know, for the cloaks. Okay, let's offer it to her. Okay then, we have 1 point left. I will break down for steel the tools. 14, not bad. Okay then, well, the recording is very close to the time limit now, so tell you what, I will not end the day now. It would be a little bit, well, we might get into a big conversation, so tell you what, I think I will end the episode here and pick things up in the next one. And yeah, okay then, so for now, all that is left to say is that thank you for watching. If you liked the video, you can leave a like, leave a comment, and maybe subscribe to the channel if you want. If you would like to support me a little bit more, you can do so by clicking the join button and becoming a channel member, which will give you an early and ad-free access to these videos. Once again, thank you for watching and thank you very much for your support. I will see you in the next one. Thank you and goodbye.